I think there's a huge problem with Q+. And I'll,
Yeah.
I'll finish with this embodied kinship. Oh, Jesus, I have to skip to close to the end here. As drag has moved further into the mainstream, some have questioned whether or not this queer art form has lost its edge. In discussing the work of Drag Queen Story Hour within our social circles, we have occasionally encountered critiques that Drag Queen Story Hour is sanitizing the risque nature of drag in order to make it family friendly. We do not share this pessimistic view. Queer world making, including political organizing, has long been a project driven by desire. So this is political. And like you hear from people, why are they making Drag Queen Story Hour so political? And they're talking about the right wingers. This is from someone on the board of directors from Drag Queen Story Hour. Queer world making, including political organizing, has long been a project driven by desire. It may be that Story Hour is family friendly. I'm going to start this again. It may be that Story Hour is family friendly in the sense that it is accessible and inviting to families with children, but it is less a sanitizing force than it is a preparatory introduction to alternate modes of kinship. Here, Drag Queen Story Hour is family friendly in the sense of family as an old school queer code to identify and connect with other queers on the street. So when you have a Drag Queen Story Hour coming to your city that hangs a sign out or on its flyer or its promotional material on social media that says this is a family-friendly event. It's a code word for creating the new culture where you're not going to identify with your old family, you're going to identify with queer people on the street.
And this is coming from someone who's, you said, say it again, is on the board of the
Lil Miss Hot Mess is a drag queen who is on the board of directors of Drag Queen Story Hour. So
which is Drag Queen Story Hour is an organization, right? It's not just like a
as
concept.
An organization, yes. Not the concept.
I didn't know that. See, I had seen this paper and I'm like, okay, this is the academic stuff and I'm sure there's watered down versions, but this is coming from the board of directors of the organization that puts these shows
right from
on.
The horse's mouth, I'm telling you.
And this is my favorite part. In discussing the work of Drag Queen Story Hour within our social, we've occasionally encountered critiques that Drag Queen Story Hour is sanitizing the risque nature of drag in order to make it family friendly. We do not share this pessimistic view. In other words, the people who want to eliminate the sexuality from the Drag Queen Story Hour in order to make it more family friendly, that's considered, oh, that's such a pessimistic thing that's going on. We don't believe you have to remove the sexual crazy shit that's going on. The stuff that Matt Walsh capitalizes on and then incites the far right to act on their disgust. This is all part of that.
Right. And they do not say this explicitly in this paper, but you can find it in other papers, that the idea of childhood innocence is a social construct that we as adults project onto children. And in fact, according to them, children are naturally and inherently beings, and they should be allowed to explore that sexuality uninhibited.
Who said
and they
this?
Even
who put this forward?
A good one to start out with is Gail Rubin, Thinking Sex is written in 1984. The universe is too perfect, Paul. It's too perfect. It was written in 1984, and it's considered the founding document of queer and gender theory, or queer theory. And in that paper, she makes a lot of strange claims, including one that a national freakout about child corn is a right-wing moral panic, and that what does she say? Cross-generational relationships should be allowed. And so when you hear about it's a pessimistic view that we're getting rid of the risque nature of drag queen in order to make it family friendly, they might not be saying it yet, or maybe in this paper, but one of their goals is to get rid of the idea in people's heads that children should not be allowed to be sexual. They want to get rid of that idea.